Been going. Boom. Participants. We got more people coming in. Super. Seems like everybody got the link. A couple of you guys emailed me looking for the link. I apologize for that. I didn't add it until yesterday, I think. But it wasn't in there. You guys were locking it in. But it seems as if you found it, so that's cool. Okay, here we go. That should be able to, everybody should be able to see that, correct? Jake, thanks, man. Cool. Again, I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes before make sure that everybody's dialed in here. It's a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday, April 11th. I'm pretty excited about today. This is a different one. This is born out of necessity and inquiry, where I've had a bunch of people asking me to present these webinars because of what the exciting stuff that we're doing at Torque. Let me just see. All right, I'm going to start presenting, sharing my screen, and then I'm going to make sure that you guys can I'll make sure that you guys can see everything and hear me properly, and then we'll be off to the races. Let's see, share options. All right, I'm gonna go full presenter mode so that we can all righty. That should work. And we're off to the races. And I could see everybody that's in here. We got 13 people in here. I know there was a bunch more that signed up. What happens is a lot of people will register and then they end up not joining it. So they're looking for the recording. So let's make the recording darn good, gang. My name is Chris Desi. Welcome. Thanks so much for showing up at 12 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. I know that it's difficult when everybody's busy. My name is Chris Desi. I am the founder and CEO of Torque AI. We're going to be talking about how to launch your own AI powered agency. I'm super excited about it because I feel like the tools for individuals to start agencies now more than ever are so impactful and so simple to gain access to. And by virtue of you guys being on this call, I commend you because it means that you're ready to roll up your sleeves and get some work done. So we're going to talk about why am I qualified to even be delivering this presentation to you guys. And it starts with things like this. I'm going to give you a little bit of my highlight reel in the background while I'm chit-chatting. So for the past 15 years, have been a, air quote, talking head on national and local television as a social media expert, as a branding expert, as a digital marketing expert, and now as an AI expert. And part of that was because of my being insanely ambitious, my networking properly, and my launching my own agency. So I've done it. I had no blueprint. I did it out of bare necessity, and we're going to get to that as well. I was a reluctant entrepreneur. I'd gotten let go, and I was in dire financial straits, and I figured out a couple of things that worked, and that was 15 years ago. I ran my first agency called Silverback Social for almost 8 years, and then I sold that agency. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to launch an agency, how to create the operational details for that agency, and how to possibly sell the agency. Um, Frankly, what I'm mostly going to be talking about for you all isn't, hey, this is how you sell the agency. I'm going to be talking about the qualitative things. We're not going to get into the boring tactical stuff that everybody understands that has to happen, meaning like, oh, am I going to start an LLC or an Inc. or am I going to, what's the business plan going to look like? Am I going to go raise money? Am I going to do all of this? The assumption here is that we will get to it. What I want to talk about today is why now is the optimal time for you all to be launching your own agency, why I was so interested in speaking with all of you to try and get you guys to become agency partners. And well, this is another little
Chris Dessy isn't just a book. It's your roadmap to leveraging AI in ways
you guys
that
get the idea. We don't have to waste time on this one. Um, I've written a bunch of books, two on AI, one on social media, one on success, and yeah, been around the block a little bit. So we're going to talk about why right now is the best time for you all to start your agency. And if you stay until the end, I have something I think that is very unique and special for the attendees today. I think I have found my mission and why I was put on this earth. So I alluded to the fact that I was a reluctant entrepreneur and launched my agency out of necessity. I had been fired. I was depressed. I was miserable. I didn't know what my next step was. And I just started building things. And it took me 8 years to get to the point where I could finally sell the agency. And we're going to talk about all of the ups and downs and how I got there. And then we're going to talk about you guys and how we can help you get there and why now things will move faster and easier for you and a lot cheaper. Frankly, I'm a little bit jealous that you guys are the ones that, that are going to be doing it now this way. So I love Joseph Campbell, and I want to start with this. We must be willing to let go of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. And I think it's really important for you all right now because we are entrepreneurs at heart. The fact that you guys are on this call, it means you're thinking about running your own business, and I think that's super exciting. And I commend you for it. So what we're going to go through today are couple of secrets, three main secrets that I think work. People have rolled their eyes about these secrets, and they're not really secrets. It's just stuff that's worked for me, but I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to make a bombastic platitude of a of an announcement. I think if you're here and you're serious, you will have an agency by the 4th of July. Functioning, generating revenue agency by the 4th of July, if you follow all of this stuff. So first, we're going to talk about AI briefly. We're not going to obsess about AI. I don't know what everybody's background is. I will be sending surveys as a follow-up to get a little bit more of a taste of where you're at in your business. But right now, AI is powerful because of this. Software, if you're developing software or software for an ad agency, and or vendor tools, it's like a spoon. So software will do the thing that you want it to do. What do I mean by that? I mean like MailChimp, right? Like MailChimp will send email for you. Or, I've been in tech for nearly 30 years and I've sold every software that you could possibly imagine. Email software with responses. I've done third-party ad serving software. I've done affiliate network software. Those companies do a job, one job. The reason why AI right now is so exciting for you and why you have the ability to launch your own agency powered by AI is because A, what I built with Torque and what I'm going to show you guys, but because AI agents learn. Full stop. That's the difference. Okay. So software, it's a spoon. It does the job. AI agents will learn. Well, we've built at Torque an AI chatbot, an AI voice bot, AI inbox, where you can have one centralized inbox to talk to your social media. You could talk to messaging, you could send emails, etc. It learns as time goes on, and you will have the ability to not only educate the Torque AI agents on your agency, potential agency, but also it will learn on how to serve your clients, which is tremendously powerful. And the reason why that should be so exciting for you all is the selling has gotten easier, right? Everybody understands that this is different. Previously, when I was showing the highlight reel and all that jazz, when I was going through my career early on, what would happen was everybody all right, we're not going to touch on that one. We're going to stay focused. Sorry, I was going to digress, but I won't. Question for you. If I made $260,000 in one blog post, would you want to know how I did that? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Yes. Yes. All right. Good. You'd want to do that. Oh, chat's disabled. But the chat, everybody's saying the chat's disabled, but I'm seeing that you guys said it. I think it was just because the chat was not showing to everybody. It was only to me. But now it should be available for everybody. Pamela White, raised hand. Pamela, let's see. I guess sure, you guys would want to know. It's a true story, and I'm going to tell you about it in about 2 seconds. So we're gonna go through it together. Secret number one, the main secret, you're in control. Um, I don't want to be waxing on a little bit too much about the entirety of my career, but this took me a minute to figure out. Okay, so about 2004, I was trying to get a job as a VP of sales. I was a director of sales. I wanted to be a VP of sales. The reason why I wanted to be a VP of sales is because my wife was pregnant with our first child. I wasn't making enough money. I was living in a studio apartment in Midtown Manhattan, and I wanted to move to Chappaqua, New York, where I live right now. And I wasn't making the money that I wanted to be making. So I kept going on these interviews, and I would go to headhunters and I'd give them my resume. And those headhunters would take my resume and they'd send me on an interview to be a director of sales. And it got very frustrating. They were like, "Hey, Chris, you're going to make $5,000 more a year, $10,000 more a year." And I was like, "You're not listening to me. I need to be a VP of sales. I'm now a director of sales, need to be a VP of sales." So, racking my brain and being born of necessity, which is largely how great things happen that way, right? Is I started a blog and I wrote one blog post, and it was about the fatal flaw of pay for performance. It was a Harvard Business Review article that I had read in an airport. I compared that to me working at an affiliate network. While I was at the affiliate network, there was lots of fraudulent activity on the publisher end of things. I combined the two. I wrote my opinions about it. I said, "Hey, hiring agent, please send that to the executive at the company that I'm interviewing for." I got the job. $200,000 base salary, $60,000 signing bonus. It was my $260,000 blog post. That is how I made that money with one blog post. Now, it might not happen today, but the lesson there is that you are in control. And what I mean by that is all of these technologies are at your fingertips. This was back in 2004. I was in online sales, digital marketing. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology, but I have a master's degree in direct marketing. I understand marketing really well. I was a sales executive. So I knew how to harness the power of that, but that's why I'm here, is to teach you how to harness that power and to take control and be in control of your own destiny because it's easier now. Back then, I had to figure out how to blog. I had to launch my own blog. I actually created my blog URL, which remains, is chrisdessi.com and or christopherdessi.com. But I eventually purchased the URL facebookshouldhireme.com and started blogging from there because I wanted to get the attention of Facebook because I wanted to be in social media. So really the lesson, you're in control. You can do whatever you want. Question for you. I sold my agency for 7 figures. Do you want me to show you how to create your own agency by using my formula? Or do you want me to just build it for you? Or do you want to build it together? I think you guys are seeing a pattern here. Here's a screenshot from Silverback Social. This is my agency. No, it's bizarre. This is like a little weird digression. This website got hacked and is now back up. And there's a link that links to some sort of crypto ridiculousness. So the site was down when I sold it and it's still up and it's just not functioning, which is a bit frustrating, but one of those weird things that happens on the internet. All right, so here's the deal. Disclaimer. Not everybody's going to be successful. Not everybody's going to launch their agency and start printing money. Agencies are hard, really, really hard to run. I don't know what your level of expertise is. I don't know whether you guys are digital marketers. I don't know whether you guys are career salespeople, career entrepreneurs. Maybe you're in corporate America and you said, "Hey, I see that this, AI thing is booming." So I'm not making any guarantees, but step one, you're in control. Step two, obsess. When I was trying to harness technology for my career and launching my own agency, I became ridiculously obsessive. And I wrote down my goals and I said, I want to run my own agency. I want to launch an event. I want to write a book. I want to be keynoting events. And I did everything in my power to make sure that those things happen. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I made sure that I had my focus and my goals, and I became completely obsessive. So where do we need to start? We need to start with clarity, which is so annoying. I know. I have, a late in life diagnosed ADHD, which I now have control of mostly. But I get it. It's difficult for clarity. But what I mean by getting clarity is to just figure out what you're good at, whether you're going to be the outward salesperson, maybe you're going to be the marketing person, maybe you're going to be the back office operational person. Are you going to have a partner? Are you going to do this alone? Are you going to hire people as you grow and scale? Are you going to leverage other vendors? Are you going to interact with freelancers? Are you going to use work that you've already done? The options are endless. But I do think you must have clarity. I didn't even realize that I had the clarity that I had when I launched my agency. It's because I was just angry. I'd gotten fired from Buddy Media, which eventually got sold for about close to $1 billion. I took a little bit of that money, and that's how I launched the agency. So I did have some capital to get going, but I didn't do it right. I got office space, I hired people, and I had way too much overhead. And eventually ended up selling my agency because I got rid of the office space and then started just leveraging people that were freelancers. So we'll talk about that too. So Business Model Canvas will provide a high level overview. We have, interrelated boxes that you can analyze, but it's desirability. Are customers interested in your service? Viability. Can you actually pull the service off? Feasibility. Can you deliver what you're saying? And adaptability. Can your idea survive and adapt as market conditions change? I don't want you to freak out about this because Torque took care of everything else. We took care of the software. We took care of the services. We took care of the interaction. We took care of all the tools that you would potentially need to run that agency and to help you formulate clarity in your personal vision. All you need to do and all you need to bring to the table is that obsession and that desire. So you're in control. You're going to obsess. If you want to launch this agency, we will help. And you don't have to worry about all those little details. So when you're talking about what are you going to do and what's the focus of the agency going to be, you'll realize that agencies that are sellable are ones that have replicable processes in the back end and ones that are definitively focused on the front end. Now, you can be focused in two ways, okay? And at least this is my view of it. So you can be focused in the services that you offer. So agencies can do anything from search engine optimization, advertising. It could just be, AI agent implementation. It could be running your advertising, your pay per click and your SEM. It could be creative design. It could be branding and bringing a creative eye to things. Those different features, you could focus. You could be a SEO only, search engine optimization only agency, or you could have the full suite of services focused on an industry. For whatever reason, when I launched the Silverback, I ended up getting lots of nonprofits, and we had about 4 nonprofit clients. So I was like, "Oh, this is where I'm going to go." Then all of a sudden, energy clients started coming across my plate, and then we focused on nonprofit and energy, which was so bizarre. We eventually went into entertainment. My biggest client for a bunch of years was Legendary Pictures, but you'll find that organically, based on your interests and based on your skill set, you will be drawn to that focus. But those are the two ways to focus: the services and or the industry. So you need to be thinking about that. You need to be challenging yourself about that. You need to be realizing that not every agency is built the same. And if you try to be everything to everyone, you're in big trouble. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Focus. It's very difficult, but we'll help get you there. I also want you to think about key partnerships, okay? And the reason why I want you to think about partnerships is because I was smart enough when I launched my agency to know what I didn't know and to know that I needed help. And I just leveraged everybody that was in my network. And even people that I had become very close with at Buddy Media, I just gotten fired from Buddy Media and my head was spinning. And the reason why I bring that up is you need help. You can't go alone. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say can't. You can go alone, but I want you to really think about your key partnerships. I want you to think about um, business groups. I want you to think about networking groups. I want you to think about getting out there and speaking if you have a level of expertise. What resources do you have? Do you have an email list? Do you have your LinkedIn connections? Do you have an alumni group? If you start thinking about those people within your ecosystem, I think you're going to get even more excited about this because you're going to realize that you have more of an advantage than you previously may have thought. And then start figuring that out and start identifying who those people are. So another question for you guys. You could spend only a few hours with me so that we can get the answer to all these questions and you don't have to worry about doing it on your own. Would you? Just think about it. You don't have to answer. If you said no to that, would you rather I just do it all for you? Happy to help. Um, if you don't think I can help, would you want my team to do it for you while I manage the process? Just think about that. Still no? I was like, get off the call. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. No, just kidding. Um, so part of my network was this guy. Um, I, in 2007, saw Gary keynote an iMedia event. I remember I mentioned that $260,000 blog post. I was a VP of sales at that job, and I was at the event by myself, just learning. And I saw Gary speak, and this is one of his first keynotes. And the guy blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. And I wrote him a letter on that stage. He announced that he was launching VaynerMedia. If you guys don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, it's perfectly okay. Google him later. Um, he's just you know, a powerhouse in the online agency business now, but he started out as a wine guy, right? His parents ran a wine store in what he referred to as the Dirty Jers in New Jersey. Um, I saw him speak. He said that he was going to launch VaynerMedia, which is his agency now. And I was like, wow, this guy's really interesting. He's talking about social media. He had a show called Wine Library TV where he just reviewed wines, but he did it like an everyman where he was kind of like, oh, there's like Bubblicious in the back. It tastes like a little bit of Bubblicious, when the Bubblicious gum in your mouth, that the taste starts to die out. That's kind of the taste that I'm getting. And I was like, oh, I like the way he reviews wines. But he said that he was launching his agency, and I was like, you know what? I want to work for this guy. So I wrote him a really long email after I saw him on stage. And I went out to New Jersey at his wine store and I met with him. I said, look, I want to work with you at VaynerMedia. And he was like, dude, I'm hiring my brother AJ and his buddies from Boston University. They're still seniors in college and I'm paying them 15 grand a year. You're married, you got a kid, you live in Chappaqua. I got a townhome in Chappaqua before I moved into this house. You could see the VP of sales job paid off. He's like, look, I don't have the money for you. Go do social media and then come back to me. He's like, what are you passionate about? I said, being a dad. So I went and I launched a online vlog, video blog called Dadzilla TV. Don't look for it, you can't find it. But what it did for me was twofold. A, got me comfortable on camera. So I was able to do social media and be in front of a camera. I was talking about products that I was using for my daughter. And then B, it got me very comfortable in the back end technology part. Okay. So I had to learn how to leverage WordPress. I had to learn how to source vendors to do like an intro for the video. I had no clue. I was a career sales guy. I had a master's degree in direct marketing that I used for about 3 months before my boss said, you're a sales guy, you're going to go sell. So I just wasn't doing any of this back end technology stuff, right? I was out there selling. But by virtue of wanting to make the leap into social media, I learned because Gary pushed me. And there's no better way of doing this, right? Just doing it on your own is figuring it all out. But once I got the whole idea, that's when I purchased the URL facebookshouldhireme.com and I started blogging from there. Fortune magazine covered that as creative ways to get attention and get a job. And I brought that into the offices of Mike Lazaro and Cass Lazaro at Buddy Media. And I got my first job in social media at Buddy Media. I then, that first week, I introduced Gary to Mike and Cass Lazaro. Gary then incubated VaynerMedia in the Buddy Media offices. That network connection is what I mean by think about your resources. Think about the people that you have access to. Gang, I saw this guy speak at an event that I was barely interested in going to. He's a wine guy, and he said that he was launching an agency. I met with him, took a chance. I just liked him. We became friends. I introduced him to another friend. Years later, Buddy Media sold for nearly $1 billion. I think it paid off for both Gary and myself. And as a result, when I launched my agency, I also launched an event called the Westchester Digital Summit, and Gary keynoted that event. Then the next year, he keynoted the event again. And next year, he keynoted the event again. You get the idea. So once you make these connections, you'll start to figure out that you can get a little bit more leverage and you could start interacting with people that are going to be able to help you launch your agency. And it's not impossible. Oh, these people are unreachable. No, it's not. If it's heartfelt and you really want to do it and you really want to learn from these people, go for it. And as you can see, he, wrote the infold of my first book and was very influential. I dedicated a chapter to him. Probably a little bit too influential, but you get the idea. So I want you guys to think about this, right? Like, what would have to be true for you to have your dream, make your dream a reality of launching an agency? Would you have to, have a team behind you? Would you have to have financing? For me, my dream again was run the agency, write books, get on TV, and do events. And I was able to do all of it because I obsessed. So, secret number three, technology is rocket fuel now more than ever. More than ever. It's at your fingertips. It's easy. Before I launched Torque, which we're going to give a demo of Torque, I'm going to show it to you guys for the back half hour in about 5 minutes. Before I did that, I was chief revenue officer at a fintech in New York City, and I sold $30 million worth of the commodity at that fintech over the course of 3 years by leveraging technology. I had a very small team. There was myself, and then I had to hire. I hired somebody in communications, somebody in marketing, and I hired 4 salespeople. That was the team. That team sold $30 million, $32 million worth of the commodity by leveraging technology. We had avatars that were doing frequently asked questions and answering for our fund. We leveraged Delve AI in order to see who our client was so that we had a clear picture of who we were marketing to. And then we leveraged all sorts of tools to create content marketing and for us to scale. So the reason why I mentioned that technology is rocket fuel, because I want you to really challenge yourself and try to figure out what's holding you back. Do you think you're too old? I just turned 50, so whatever. Do you think you're not tech savvy enough? I just mentioned to you guys, I was not a tech guy, sales, marketing, communications guy, just obsessed, wanted to figure it out, learned the stuff on the fly, got my hands on in touch with people that knew more than me and learned. I know that you're all like that. That's why you're on the webinar. So that's awesome. Or not enough time. Look, if you're really obsessing about something and you realize that, you know, you don't need permission, that you can obsess about it and technology is rocket fuel, you find the time to make it happen. I sold my agency for 7 figures. Do you want me to show you how to create your own agency by using my formula? Cool. So these are the structures of what we do for launching your agency. Now, Torque AI is also our own agency with our own clients. This was born from my network asking me for help. So I'm very lucky that I have a very large network. I think I have like over 30,000 people on LinkedIn. I've been around for a long time. I know a lot of people in the industry, and people were like, "Okay, we get it. You have the AI powered agency, but I want to learn how to launch my own agency because I think that this is really fascinating." If you do it, we have a certain price. If you do it with us, we have a certain price. And we do it all for you and we launch your agency, we have that certain price. So, what comes with that certain price? So, there's lead magnets associated with it. Is it okay if I talk about? I apologize, guys. I jumped into this, but we cool if I'm going to run through what these packages are. I'm not selling. I'm just going to give you the idea of it. Is it cool? Give me 2 minutes of this, okay? I promise. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it. So for the you do it, pardon me, for the part of the packages, these are the things that we add to the table. So we build out your website, we do all of your branding, we do business cards, we do collateral, we do lead magnets, creating lead magnets dependent upon what your focus is. We help you get to the focus. Um, Beyond the lead magnets, we have support content for you, meaning we will build out your decks, your sales deck. We will have a spot where you input your logo. This is a snapshot of our spreadsheet where we give return on investment support to you. So when you're selling to somebody and they say, well, what's the ROI of your agency? We help you with that. We build it all out. So if you're going to go talk to a bunch of lawyers and you're going to focus just on lawyers, we create all of the collateral for you, all of the PowerPoints. We write the emails for you if you want. That's like the full service. We will create all of the content marketing, all of the content on your website, all of the social media platforms, all of the design, everything that you would want to have. Flip on that switch. Now, the marketing and all that beyond that, that's when the bigger packages start to catch on. For $1,399 within the do-it-yourself, I give you access to moi. And what I mean by that is you get access to all the books, all of the downloadables, all of the audiobooks, and then I have courses associated with each of the books where you have access to every single course. You have downloadables. You could share that content with your team. I teach you about how to build your own personal brand, about consistency in posting, the tools that I use in order to have consistency in my posting, top of the funnel stuff like this, webinars. Hey, I'm going to sell to lawyers. My agency is going to be about lawyers. Okay, Chris and his team helped me name my agency. We helped brand the agency. We helped you create the logo for your agency. We launched the website. We have the lead magnets and all the collateral. Now you're off to the races. So these are just parts of it. The AI 101 is $8.99 within the ecosystem. And then you have access to all of this stuff, right? So there's a 10-day ChatGPT for Profit crash course. There's a more developed AI 101 course. That AI 101 course is actually taught by my avatar, and that's a lot more advanced, but I created my own avatar through Synthesia. I wrote all the content. There's quizzes, there's downloadable content. If you want to learn more about AI just so that you become the expert when you're talking to your clients, or if you want your team to have access to it, the 1900 is for everything that's associated with the collateral that we give you, the website, the everything, and then my one-on-one coaching, you have full access to me. Now, the thing that I said where I mentioned everybody stay till the end is because that bundle is nearly $8,000. But by virtue of being on this call, starting in 10 seconds, for the next 30 minutes, it's going to be $975. I think that's like an 80 something percent discount off the top. Okay. So I'm going to share the link with you. You're going to have 30 minutes, remaining 30 minutes, where I'm going to talk about the tactical details of everything. And I'm still going to be presenting, but you guys will have the ability to purchase all of that first level. That's almost $3,000 for $975. So hold 2 seconds. Let me grab the link and then I'm going to share it with you guys in the chat. And if you guys have any other questions while we're doing this right now, please go ahead and ask. I'm just going to escape out of that full view so that I can see the link. Nope. There's the link. I'm going to go back into presenter mode in 2 seconds, gang. I just want to make sure that I can chat this to everybody so that everybody can see it. Okay. It's through the Torque Academy offer. Can you guys just raise your hands again and just let me know that you can see that? Let's see. Someone said their chat's not working. Let me make sure that everybody's chat's working here. Sorry, gang. Just want to make sure the tech is working. Okay, that should have worked, right? Got everybody there. Super. Okay. Lowered everybody's hands. Okay. Super. Now we'll get back to the presentation mode. That's the link. If you guys have trouble with the link and I'm not able to see that right now, Don't worry about it. I'll send it as a follow-up, but we got the 30 minutes more to go through the rest of the presentation and we should be in good shape. Cool, cool. Okay. Let's get back to the slideshow. Presenter. Super. Okay. Um, I know that was a little bit of whiplash in terms of the pricing, but I know that coming in, that price is, you know, oh, Daniela raised her hand. Daniela, may I help you? Let's see. Let's see. All right, there you go. There's the link. Super. Um, I wanted to offer a 30-day guarantee for this. So here's the deal. I know it's a lot of money. I know nearly $8,000 is a lot of money, but I've also spent my career creating all of this collateral and all these online courses. Um, and the team can build out your website. We can figure out the name of your agency. We can build your logo. We can build out all the branding associated with it. We can build out your content marketing plan. We could set up automated content and blogging for you. We can basically take care of everything top to bottom, that almost $8,000 for $975. 30-day guarantee. If you hate it after 30 days, I give you your money back. I'm not here to kill people. I'm here to empower you all so that you guys can run healthy businesses and harness the power of AI. It's my mission. So either do it or don't. There we go. So what I pledge to you, supportive community. If you guys do this, you have access to the Torque Academy community, meaning you'll have other agency founders involved within that. Those other agency founders will be learning just like you. Those other agency founders might be at different levels, but we're going to be sharing information, sharing knowledge. You will get my coaching. You will get lots of my online courses. You'll have access to live meetings with me. The 975 will probably end up doing 4 meetings in 4 weeks. So whomever it is that joins it will have access to those meetings. Those meetings are going to be deep dive on your business. Those meetings are not going to be this general stuff. Those meetings are going to be, if I have Daniela's information, I understand what she wants to do, and I understand her vision and her goals, we're going to work on Daniela's stuff in that live meeting, as well as the resource library, which is all the books, all the courses, all the downloadables, all the audiobooks. The ChatGPT for profit audiobook is not available anywhere else. That's the only place that you get the audiobook. You get a structured curriculum. This was me obsessing last year and actually mapping everything out. It's a real shot of my kitchen table. It was during the summer. You could see the suntan lotion over there. If all this did was inspire you to launch your own business and change the trajectory of your career and your life positively, do you think it'd be worth it? I think so. So, 2 options. You guys get the idea. Do nothing or commit to changing your life forever, which I think would be cool. So these are the types of things that I'm talking about. This is an actual deck that we create for you so that you don't have to worry about creating the deck. So if you're leveraging Torque AI, we have the ability to leverage an AI agent for chat, for voice, AI agents for email, AI agents for social media. So your clients will be able to use AI to create social media content, but we want you to be able to sell. So we create all the collateral for you. We create the deck. And all you have to do is drop your logo in there. And you say, hey, this is Inbox Pro. You guys can leverage all of this. We train you. We help you out. We help you get the vernacular down. And then we give you all of this information, right? So these are all our standardized decks that you will have access to. So now you can present statistics. Now you can present results. Now you can present all of the information that we get at Torque through your agency to your clients. Dependent upon who you're focused on, we will help you craft messaging to who you are focused on. Oh, it's just going to be bike repair, or it's just going to be coffee shops, or it's just going to be whatever that might be. We will help you do that. They need help with online communication. I think you're really doing a great service if you're launching your own agency, because I think now more than ever, you guys might not think that you're tech savvy, but you're tech savvy by virtue of being on this call and wanting to learn about it, right? But there are people that might be run an auto body shop that when we say AI, they're just like, what? I have no idea. And the difference here, and the difference with AI and the difference with what we're doing right now is the fact that when I was doing social media, people had the option to opt in, right? So this guy that runs the auto body shop, he could opt in. He'd be like, "Oh, do I need a Facebook page? Do I need an Instagram account? Do I need TikTok? Do I need whatever?" And the answer might have been no. He might have been like, "There's no way. I don't need that at all." But now the difference here is that AI is surrounding us, right? So he's looking at his phone. All of a sudden, he's got AI apps on his phone. All of a sudden, people can get information. All of a sudden, and this is a key, I think you need to understand that when somebody responds quickly to a small business, an agency as well, when you respond quickly, the speed to response converts better. Okay. So you will see a massive uptick on your clients' sales by virtue of just implementing an AI chatbot. That's simple. With the AI chatbot, there's a knowledge base. So you upload the knowledge base into the Torque platform. Once that knowledge base on your client's behalf is in the Torque platform, the chatbot gets more intelligent. Remember, spoon. Software is a spoon. AI learns. Okay. The AI is going to continuously learn about the auto body shop or whomever it is that you're talking to. And when it does web chat with that person, when they hit your website, it will be more and more intelligent. It will talk to you about different things that are going on with the business. All that AI assisted web chat, unified shared marketing inbox, flexible and integrated CRM. So you will have your own CRM. You will also allow and give access to your base to have their own CRM within your agency platform. And this is key. So we built it so that the white labeling of it for you is super simple and intuitive, but they also have the tools that you will have access to. So if they want to do sales outreach, they can send that through the platform. If they want to do just social media, they can do that through the platform. If they just want to integrate the chatbot, they can do that through the platform. And then you make the margin on top of it. So you have these options. It can be anything that you want. The web chat, website, SEO, listings, ads, whatever. So let's talk a little bit about Torque, right? So we mentioned my executive coaching. These are the things that you get with that nearly 8,000, but for the next 20 minutes or so, 975. I will build out all of your social media templates. We will build out all of your business card designs. We will build out your brand info. I love this stuff, guys. I will help you name your agency probably within the first 20 minutes. It is a strength of mine. It wasn't. It's a muscle that I've gotten really good at because I ran my agency and I did this on behalf of my clients. You will have access to those logo files. You'll have access to logo designs so that you can order swag if you want. You will have access to Torque Academy, which took me over a year to build. Nearly killed me, but it's awesome because I feel like it's my legacy, right? Like those courses that I'm building out and I'm able to share with the world, that gets me super excited. We will give you access to all of the books. So that's all that stuff down the left side. That's ChatGPT, the audio book. Remarkable You is about how to build a personal brand. Your World is Exploding is about social media, but I wrote it a million years ago. It's actually still a really relevant and really good read, I think. I know it sounds a bit self-centered, but I'm going to tell you why. I wrote it 2010, but this past summer I reread it because I was scratching my head. I'm like, I wonder if it stands up. Like I didn't recall whether I wrote too much about the immediacy of what was happening. Like this is a time of day you should post on Facebook. And I really didn't spend too much time on that, which is also why, even in this webinar, I'm not getting too tactical, right? Because we're talking broad vision. We're talking about emotion. We're talking about like, do you guys want to do this? Do you want to run your own agency? Cool. I can help. Let's do it. The tactical stuff will come later. It will come later. We'll figure it out together. Anyway, that's where we're at. This is how we do it. It's going to be stuck in your head. Sorry. AI content creation for marketing. We will do all of that for you. Building brand awareness and credibility. We'll do that for you. AI powered local SEO. We will do that for you so that your agency gets found. AI powered ads and reporting. AI powered marketing. The chatbots, the reputation management. This is all of the services that we're offering. So AI powered sales. So you have the ability to leverage the AI powered CRM. For example, I just recently set up something where if you hit our website, you can get a free AI scan, a readiness report. That readiness report, once they fill out that information, it will pull their business name. We will rate and rank their business based on their local search area. It automates the send. It takes us about 24 hours for our AI to do that scan of the business to say, okay, these are your reviews online. This is where you show up in search. These are the places that you need to improve because it needs to pull all of that data. But once it does that, it then automatically sends that, pardon me, so just sends it for free to that lead, but then it triggers an email automation. Okay. So that type of stuff, that more advanced stuff, that's where you get option two and option three, where we really do it with you. And we build that out. In option one for the 975, that stuff you're going to work on your own. You're going to figure that out. We give you all the tools, but that type of automation, the email drip campaigns, we'll help you with the lead magnets, we'll help you with the landing pages and the forms. But once it gets into the real detail, roll up your sleeve stuff, that doesn't happen until you hit level two. But ideally, like what I want to see for you guys is that you take advantage of the 975 offer. We do all these things for you, and then you get excited. You start closing deals. You take the deals to power the next step, right? That's the ideal system, right? Okay. Torque Academy, in the academy, I also have how to deliver a TEDx talk, just because I wanted to deliver a TEDx talk and I had to figure it out on my own. And I leveraged a networking group that I was part of, my peers, to figure out the structure of that and what I was going to do for that. The reason why I think that that's important for you all isn't because I'm saying everybody should deliver a TEDx talk, but if you're running an agency, especially an AI powered agency, you need to be an expert. You need to at least speak like an expert. You need to be talking the talk and walking the walk. So you need to be learning, continuously learning, and then getting up in front of people and speaking. I actually did a video about this. I did 50 lessons for 50 years. I just turned 50 in February. Very weird to say out loud, but I did 50 lessons on my YouTube channel. And one of those lessons, we were talking about this, where it's not just about learning something, but learning and then teaching it. For me, game changer. Like that's how stuff seeps into your bones and you just like, I don't know. You can't get any better than that, right? Like you can't learn something any better than figuring it out, learning it, and then trying to be able to teach it, which is why I think public speaking is so critical, that to be able to make it shorthand for somebody, to be able to just be able, communicate your ideas, I think it's the best gift that you could possibly give somebody. We put together some creative performance-based pricing for our agency, not for Torque AI, the platform, but I wanted to put this in front of you all because I want you to feel empowered by it, okay? I think agency pricing models are changing. I think what's happened is people get caught up in a monthly retainer. The monthly retainer isn't clearly defined. And by virtue of a monthly retainer not being clearly defined, your life becomes a living hell. How do I know this? Because my life became a living hell when I was running Silverback. I was getting as many deals as I possibly could, and I was not digging into the tactical execution of what that meant for my team. I was like, we're going to handle your social media. Gosh, what did that mean? That meant design, creative. That meant content calendars. That meant community management. That meant advertising and running the ad campaigns. I had no idea that it would encompass everything. Like, and people have limited beliefs of what they think that that would be. Well, some people might think social media management is community management. I'm going to, somebody responds to us, we're going to do, somebody thinks social media could be engaging influencers. I was doing influencer marketing back in 2010, where the first influencer that we used was a guy named Brody Smith, did a frisbee trick shot at the Barclays Center on behalf of Blue Rock Energy, which was my energy client. And the energy client powered the Barclays Center. So I was like, that'd be cool, right? Like we have somebody do a trick shot or an influencer do something with a basketball hoop, and then we talk about Blue Rock Energy. So he did like a frisbee trick shot to two basketball hoops that were far away, and then he turns around, he's like, Blue Rock Energy, power up. Those types of influencer campaigns, they are difficult to negotiate. They are very expensive. They are hard for the influencer to keep up for a substantial amount of time. It's difficult to quantify and see what the return on investment is. But guess what? That falls under the umbrella of social media, right? So this is what pricing models critical for agencies. So what I started to do was a minimum monthly retainer that no matter what your agency is getting, and then you could do performance based on rev share and risk-free 1 month guaranteed. These are all suggestions for you all, guys. Like when we do this with my agency, this is at a much bigger level. We usually do it to 3 to 6 months. We do it for major e-commerce players that are printing money, right? We come in, we do audits. We say, look, you're only going to pay us for the first 3 months, and it's going to go down, down, down. The retainer is going to go down. Our rev share goes up. I love it because we get a little bit more equity and skin in the game. Clients love it because we're advocating on their behalf. We're trying to sell more for them. So we're doing everything under the sun, under our power. All the teams are involved, all hands on deck, and it's super exciting. So you need to start thinking about different and creative business models. A lot of agencies will charge based on like credits and how you redeem the credits. That becomes a little bit easier. I don't love that model because I think that that stays small. I think we can go bigger, and I think we could do performance-based pricing and stay on rev share. If you guys need consulting on the pricing, depending upon which level you engage us with, we will help with that as well. Excuse me. I'm going to show this quick video, and then we're going to get into.
Welcome to our walkthrough video. Our software offers a comprehensive suite of features, workflows, and automations designed to help your business attract leads and convert them into loyal customers, all within a single app. In this video, I'll show you the main features and benefits and provide you with some tips on how to get your local business set up for success. Before we jump in, note that there's a handy setup checklist here that you can follow. Also note that not all the features covered here will be.
All right. I'm not going to bore you guys with that video. We're actually going to go into a live demo so that we can interact and hang out in the platform together.
Well,
okay. So let's see. What was the final one? Oh, yeah. You all have access to all of the different details. I'm also producing the AI Summit. You guys, by virtue of hearing about the Westchester Digital Summit, you guys know that I like producing events. I think events are great for top of the funnel for agencies. I recommend that you all do them as well. They're arduous, they're painful, they're awful, but it's in person. You can shake somebody's hand, you can network with people, you can network with local business communities. If you guys want coaching and tutorials on that, I can help. There is a system and there is a process. Sometimes it's very difficult to figure out, but you know what? It's there. I will send this as follow-ups. I had a whole list of all these URLs, but I don't want to bombard you guys where I'm going to send you a link to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys all subscribe. The Torque AI newsletter, I think if nothing else, right? If you go, everything that came out of Chris's mouth was total junk, subscribe to the Torque AI newsletter. We are doing it at least 3 times a week. The team that puts it together is very, very intelligent. It's about all of the all the movings and shakings within AI, but it's very practical and tactical things that you can click on a link, interact with a vendor, and will make you smarter when it comes to AI so that when you're pitching to your clients, you sound like you know what you're talking about. I'm going to touch on this briefly, and then we're going to go into the software demo. So this is my why, okay? This handsome fellow is Adrian Dessy, my father. Fortunately, he passed away in 2015. That's myself and he sitting in his backyard. ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, is a vicious disease, but my dad was a career direct marketer, and he advised me, and he actually used to advise like our neighbors' kids when they would graduate from college, and we'd have them in our living room with like a flip chart and asking them what they liked to do, what they didn't like to do. He, when I was cutting my teeth in the real world, he helped me discover a program at NYU that was a master's degree in direct marketing. And the reason being is that Zoom has access to your screen and system audio time in the past. I don't know why I'm getting that notification. Sorry, got a weird notification from Zoom. Anyway, he helped me figure out that direct marketing was the internet on steroids, right? And the reason was because I was graduated from college in 1997 and I wanted to be a dot-com millionaire like everybody else, right? Everybody was becoming a dot-com millionaire. My father was like, look, Chris, you have an undergraduate degree in psychology. That's wonderful. But now that you decided that you're not gonna work at Four Winds and be a psych rehab therapist like I was, maybe you want to investigate direct marketing. So I was very well advised by my father. I got that master's degree in direct marketing, and then I got my first job in tech in February of 2000, and the rest is history. The past 25 years, I've sold every piece of software I can get my grubby little hands on, launched my own agency, launched events. You guys know the rest. And it's all because of my dad. But that's not necessarily my why. The last words that my father said to me seemed innocuous at the time. He was in hospice care, and I was leaving for the day, and I was like, hey, Dad, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. And he's like, Christopher. And I stopped. I turned around, and he looked at me. He said, keep up the good work. And it seemed weird and out of place when he said it. And I was like, okay, Dad, sure. Those ended up being his last words to me, and it's something that I've taken near and dear to my heart, and I try to instill that in everyone around me, right? You guys are on this random webinar talking to a random guy about how to launch a random AI agency. But I want you to keep up the good work because you're doing damn good. Friday afternoon at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and you're learning and you're challenging yourself and you're figuring out new ways to provide for your family and to provide for yourself. And I want to commend you all. And I want to spread love and joy and peace in this world. And this is the only way I know how, right? I've done a couple of different things in my life where, ran a marathon for dad and, super stuff like that. If you follow me on social, you'll find it all out and you probably get sick of hearing about it. But my father's hugely influential in my life. And that is my why. That is why we are sitting in front of each other together and talking about this right now. These are my contact details before I get into the software and show you guys again. I honestly, that's literally my cell phone. If you guys want to text me, I will text you back. I'm not kidding. I don't care because my phone number is already on every spam list possibly imaginable. And that is the agency is torqueapp.ai, and then AIsummit.nyc was supposed to happen May 15th in New York City. Today, I'm either going to make it a only online event and or push it to September because I don't have the bandwidth. I've got too many good things going on. 2 thumbs up to that. A bit disappointing that I can't pull it off by May 15th. Events are a lot, right? They're just very difficult. I will also be launching the smallbusinesssummit.ai, so you can keep an eye out for that. And we can, we'll continue doing events and continue growing the agency stuff. So let me stop the presentation there. I'm going to stop my screen sharing for 2 seconds. Okay. So hold on. And then I'm going to present again, and we're going to show you the live tech. Let's see. Well, that's not nice. 1 hour for nothing. Thank you for stealing my time and also let people pay for that. That's interesting. All right, gang. Lovely. Let's show the platform and then we'll bounce from there. How about that? All right, so here's the platform. If you are working with us and launching the agency, this is what your interface will look like. This is the CRM. You'll be able to manage your contacts from here. You'll be able to leverage any of your client accounts, and you'll be able to run your entire agency from this platform. If you click on AI, you'll be able to see your AI workforce. What that will include is the AI chatbots, your AI knowledge base, as well as your email marketing and your campaigns, and all email templates and guides associated with it. Now, everything that resides within here, it's yours. Everything that gets updated on the Torque AI platform will update your agency. Every bit of information that you have that you can currently leverage for your agency, you'll be able to leverage here. You'll be able to create your own lists. You'll be able to access the AI workforces as we update it. So you can implement your AI receptionist and click on configuration. Configuration is key because you're going to want to put all the information associated with your brand and your agency into the system. All you have to do is upload that information. Then you embed the code, and then you've got a chatbot in your agency website associated with the knowledge base. Then you can leverage the platform in order to send your campaigns as well as your email templates. We build out all these agency email templates for you. We create guides for you and acquisition widgets. The acquisition widgets are going to reside on your website. Then you're allowed to create all of your proposals, invoices, subscriptions, anything that you're creating on behalf of your clients. You could do so in here. You'll have access to our marketplace where you could see all of the different products that you can offer to your clients through the platform. And then you can go ahead and fulfill all of those different details. The automations are key as well. We have tutorials and training on the automation so that you can access that too. All different automations are associated with how you want to interact with your client, right? So you can have what I had mentioned earlier, where somebody enters their information on a form, it gets the associated account, and then it creates the actual snapshot on your behalf. And you could build that out within the platform. And you could have different reports, premium reports, and or whatever sort of metric associated with it. All right, 101, I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you so much for spending the hour with me. I do appreciate it. I don't appreciate some of the negative comments from somebody that was anonymous. I'm not sure exactly why this person is being like that, but that's unfortunate. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys pulled something from this. And sorry, real bummer that somebody had to be anonymous and say some negative things. Anyway, this is recorded. I will send it to you as a follow-up, and I hope you all keep up the good work. 102, Friday, April 11th. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks, everybody.